week, we bring you a China update as the country opens back up from Chinese New Year closures, and we also report on a significant drop to this year's Russian salmon forecast.
But first, as a part of our What's Good campaign, which seeks to spotlight something good happening in the seafood world as opposed to unfortunate news. This week, we wanted to put a spotlight on Team Seas. Team Seas was a global campaign to raise $30 million to remove 30 million pounds of trash from the oceans, rivers, and beaches, so every dollar raised would remove 1 pound of trash. And on January 1st, 2022, they reached their goal of 30 million within 2 months. Team Seas is led by top YouTube personalities Jimmy Donaldson, aka Mr. Beast, and Mark Rober with over 100 million combined subscribers. We caught up with Team Seas for an update on what's next, and they told us they will continue to collect donations to go to their two partners, the Ocean Conservancy and the Ocean Cleanup, and cleanups will go through this year and next year to remove the 30 million pounds funded by their goal. There are currently no new campaigns slated at the moment, as we can imagine they will be quite busy cleaning up the ocean, but keep an eye on their social account for any updates and announcements. And that's what's good this week in the world of seafood.
It's been a few weeks now since China has opened back up from Chinese New Year closures, so here is the current situation. Plants in Qingdao started production back up around February 19th. However, progress is slow as a significant amount of workers did not return from Chinese New Year, so it will take about a month to hire and train new workers. Plants in Dalian have been closed since December, and at the time of reporting, they remain closed. These plants still have no idea when they will be able to start production again. However, in recent conversations with plant owners, they are hoping to be able to start back up in 2 weeks, but there are no guarantees. Further to this, our sources tell us that Dalian plants won't need to buy any raw materials in the short term, as 3 to 4 months worth of raw materials that were stuck at port are going to be released to them soon. For a recap of what's happening in China over the last 4 months, please refer to the links below. As containers were stuck at port in Dalian over the last 3 months, they certainly didn't sit there for free. Dalian plants will have to pay huge demurrage charges, some amounting from $4 million to over $15 million extra costs that will ultimately be passed down to the supply chain. And at the wholesale level, this could mean as much as $1 more per pound for some products. For raw materials pricing, Pacific Cod currently stands out from the rest, as raw materials for pea cod are still extremely short in China. One of the reasons for this is that a lot of the cod went to the EU and North America for reprocessing. Russian Pacific Cod pricing has skyrocketed to over $5,500 per metric ton US or $2.50 a pound, up from $3,500 or $1.60 a pound last year. For more pricing updates, refer to the raw material price matrix. Our recommendation continues to be that you purchase whatever you can to fulfill your seafood programs and to focus on buying products that are already in North America or on the water, as the demand for seafood continues to rise amidst ongoing supply chain constraints. Moving on to the 2022 Russian total salmon forecast, and preliminary numbers released were for 264,000 metric tons, which is the lowest catch expectation in the past 12 years. This number is still only preliminary and not final, as the Research Institute may adjust pink salmon forecasts to 190,000 from 132,000 metric tons, which would result in a final forecast of 321,000 metric tons. Looking at historical catch data, it is interesting to note that over the past 11 years, the actual catch has almost always significantly exceeded the forecast value. Catch totals for Pacific salmon in Russia amounted to 539,000 metric tons in 2021, 292.6 thousand in 2020, and 499.2 thousand in 2019, and a bumper 676.2 thousand in 2018. Alaska will release their total salmon forecast for 2022 season in March or April. And for comparison, Alaska harvested 389,416 metric tons in 2021 from 233 million fish, and 234,773 in 2020 from 118 million fish. For Alaska, even-numbered years have historically produced less pink salmon than odd-numbered years. Russia Pacific salmon seasons are compared odd to odd year and even to even. If you're not already, be sure to subscribe to our 3-Minute Market Insight using the sign-up form below to keep tuned in to all the upcoming market insights. Thank you for joining me for the Tradex Foods 3-Minute Market Insight. This is Robert Ryerson reminding you to stay safe, buy smart, and eat more seafood.